to me.
I already told you, this isn't—
Just take a breather, you two. Oh, you're here. As you can probably see, you'll have to take a rain check on the—
This is my friend's cat. He's preoccupied with some important business, so I came to retrieve her in his stead.
No, it's far more likely this cat escaped from the Humane Society. Bonnie?
That's the name I've given her in the meantime. Well, this complicates things.
I told you before. This is my friend's cat. It's
Listen, I'm the director of the Humane Society, okay? We've got so many strays, dogs, cats. She just looked somewhat familiar, so I came to check. If she turns out to be one of ours, I'll take her back. Simple as that. Even if that's not the case, the Humane Society could still take her in, if no one else comes to claim her. We're an organization that specializes in rescuing and sheltering stray animals. We've been in business for several decades now.
The Humane Society. Huh. The name sounds familiar.
Yes, that's the one. Anyway, if it's not too much. If it turns out I really am mistaken, I suppose that means the cat belongs.
It belongs to my friend.
Go on, Bonnie.
Oh, nope. Looks like I was mistaken. They do look similar, but there's an ever so slight difference in this one. Well, I suppose this means I still have a missing cat to search for. Apologies again.
Yes, exactly.
Wait a second. You lied earlier, didn't you?
Lied? I'm afraid I don't know what you mean.
A liar always has a tell. The look in their eyes, their breathing pattern, the way they hold themselves.
What are you talking about? The way I see it, you're conflating baseless conjecture with—
Normally, when someone is called out, their breathing speeds up as they begin to panic. But your breathing pattern hasn't changed one bit. In fact, it's been strangely calm and measured this entire time. If you're a bad guy, I'm sure you'll take off running the first chance you get. If you're a good guy, the most likely explanation is—
And you're basing this off of?
Intuition. Nothing more.
Intuition. You're right. I'm a member of the Guards. The name's Elodie. I'm currently investigating a cross-border smuggling case. This cat here— Bonnie was her name? Well, her owner is one of the prime suspects of our investigation. A couple of days ago, our suspect got wind that we were on his tail and fled. That's most likely how he got separated from the cat. I just so happened to stumble upon your notice in the Steambird. So, I decided to see if he'd come back for her. But it looks like I overestimated him. The impact of this case has been huge. The Marechaussee Phantom, the Guards, and a new kind of illegal drug. Imitation synth. We confiscated all the synth on the market, but addiction isn't something that and criminals are all too eager to capitalize on that addiction. That was the impetus for imitation synth. After the original synth debacle, we put several measures into place to prevent similar incidents from occurring. The perpetrators got smart, though, and shifted their We only recently got word of the presence of imitation synth overseas. We managed to track down evidence of some early transactions. The Marechaussee Phantom launched an investigation to track down every person in Fontaine capable of producing a drug like that. He's a researcher at the Fontaine Research Institute. His name...
Lefebvre.
The Marechaussee Phantom found him in Poisson. In addition to the cat... At first, there wasn't much cause for suspicion. It was only later... Obviously, this discovery prompted a further investigation into Pierre. At that point, however...
That's not possible, actually. The Lefebvre family...
Exactly. Many years ago, several important members of the family, the family is engaged in all manner of crimes. As you can imagine, Pierre is one of those very survivors. He's been hiding away in the Fontaine Research Institute all these years. His true identity unbeknownst to all. Well, my fellow guards have told me all about how smart and courageous you both are. And I know you possess a strong sense of justice. There could be a chance that Pierre, or one of his accomplices, might attempt to get close to Bonnie. If I take Bonnie back to the guards with me, there's no way Pierre will I have to admit, I'm not holding out too much hope. Well, I've got some other leads to follow up on.
It's nothing. It's just... the head of the Lefebvre family. It was at a dinner party. But before anything worse could happen, Father intervened. Yep. Father was the one who orchestrated the fall of the Lefebvre family. After all these years. Don't worry about me. I wasn't feeling sorry for... He's been acting strange recently. He avoids me for days on end, consumes himself with some secret and thinking about it now. It's very possible. I'm sure he tried to send me away because even after all these years, he's still as overprotective as... You'll have to help me teach him a lesson if we run into him along the way. Yep. I want to head to the Fontaine Research Institute to learn more information about Pierre. Just let me activate search mode and then we'll head out. Who knows? A little bit of both, perhaps. For the most part, though, I just have the sense that something's not right. Something isn't adding up about Pierre's story. Okay, I'll write a letter explaining everything to the crew. Once...
Lynette, you're, not at rehearsal?
You can drop the act, brother. In fact, I don't think either of us will have a need for...
And that's why I tried to distract you with the masked mime show.
Care to introduce us to your new assistant?
This is Officer Chavras, captain of the Special Security and Surveillance.
Nice to see you. I should clarify something. Mr. Linney's here at my invitation, not the other way around. We've brought on Mr. Linney as a consultant in the past. He was instrumental in helping us crack a case involving a perpetrator who used magic tricks to commit...
So you've...
That's exactly why we're here. There's always been questions. Whoever was behind it all was extremely cautious. They didn't leave a shred of evidence. I took a look at the entrance and exit records of all the carriages that night. Let's just say it was... Don't worry, I don't have any evidence to that effect, and I sought Mr. Linney's help with the smuggling case. Nothing... The way I look at it, it's a collaboration between us as people, not the organizations we represent. Besides, not at all. I was planning to invite you from the very beginning, Miss Lynette. It's just that my assistant here raised some objections.
Linny, I'm not the same person I was back then. That little girl who did nothing but cower in the corner in fear. She doesn't need saving anymore.
I'm sorry, Lynette.
Oh, and the next time you want to distract me?
Who's this? You pick up a stray while I was gone?
It's a bit complicated.
Well, if there are no objections, then
It appears the Lefebvre family was very... The family would use different emblems to mark differences in status, blood relation, and the like. In fact, the insignia that was discovered on the...
It's highly likely. That very status might have been what allowed him to emerge from the...
We discovered something interesting, though. After talking to some of his co-workers...
Apparently, Pierre was once addicted to synth. He tried to use the resources at the... He claimed it was just for research purposes, but the Institute revoked his access to the relevant materials regardless. But it seems the Institute ran into some trouble along the way. Could have been a lack of personnel or a timing issue. And as for his family background, it appears none of his co-workers at the Institute were aware of that information. All they could tell us was that he was quite the recluse. Other than the pendant, we didn't find anything else of note at it. Based on the samples of imitation synth we've been able to analyze, those traces might not be obvious to the casual observer, but they're not something our guard poodles would miss. Pierre's, we didn't find any records indicating possible involvement in overseas transactions either. So,
Maybe he had a separate, dedicated...
Well, his neighbors did say he was often gone for long stretches of time. If his reclusive nature was just a matter of keeping a low profile, I guess it would make sense for him to have a...
after he disappeared, the guards conducted a thorough search of Poisson.
Poisson. You know Hotel de Boer, where I first found Bonnie? To get there from Poisson, you have to cross a stretch of ocean.
A cat? You mean...
Bonnie is Pierre's cat.
Oh, that's right! When the Marechaussee Phantom first tracked him down, I remember there being something about a cat and...
From what we've learned about Pierre's habits, he doesn't seem like the type to venture out without a purpose. So what you're saying, Lynette, is that...
Exactly. Bonnie...
Wait, you think the cat can lead us there? But she's not trained like one of our guard poodles. How is she supposed to understand what we...
Guess she's a little skittish around strangers. Meow. Meow meow. Meow? Near the coast, the beach, and beneath the
Well, I've certainly never taken a witness statement like this before.
Well, if it works out...
Cats and humans are actually pretty alike. When it comes to communication, most of what we want to convey can be accomplished through body language. Of course, body language has its limitations.
The important thing is that we now have a lead. Let's try and find a place...